For the first time ever, outgoing Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney has publicly endorsed a Democratic House candidate. Cheney endorsed two-term Michigan Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin this week, with the campaign announcing the two Congresswomen will host a joint rally next Tuesday in Lansing. Cheney, who was once the number 3 ranking Republican in the House, had never before publicly endorsed a Democrat. In a statement released by the Slotkin campaign, Cheney wrote, "While Elissa and I have our policy disagreements, at a time when our nation is facing threats at home and abroad, we need serious, responsible, substantive members like Elissa in Congress." In response, Slotkin's opponent, Republican State Senator Tom Barrett, released a statement that read in part, "Now establishment war hawks like Liz Cheney and Elissa Slotkin are standing together because I oppose their senseless thirst for more foreign entanglements." Both Real Clear Politics and the Cook Political Report list the battle to represent Michigan's 7th district as a toss-up. We'll watch that race, but let's pull back to 20,000 feet. This is why we have Jon Meacham here. This race and this endorsement, Meacham, represents the battle for the soul of America. What's at stake here? What do you make of Liz Cheney's choice to back up Elissa Slotkin, and do you think it will have an impact in the long run?
Well, Liz Cheney's putting country above party. She is not just talking about it. She's not just away from, as Jen said, away from the hot mic. She's not just saying, oh, we really need to do something about this extremism in Trump. She has put her political career really not in jeopardy, but she has ended her, for now, her hold on elective office for a principle. And that's what we are supposed to want in principled leaders in a democracy. It's public virtue in action. And she's really the Margaret Chase Smith of our time. Margaret Chase Smith was a senator from Maine who 4 years before the men caught up with her, denounced Joe McCarthy and did so as saying that principle mattered more than party. And principle, and this is the hard part in a midterm election 11 days out, but the Cheney news and her statement there actually manifests this point. This really is a midterm, I believe, personal opinion, take it or leave it, obviously, that the principles of politics as a mediation of differences and obeying the rule of law, that is more important in this hour, I believe, than any particular policy disagreement or debate. I just do. I wish we could sit around and argue about marginal tax rates or, you know, COLAs and Social Security. That would be lovely, right? But we can't, because there are so many people who simply want to grab power by any means necessary in order to advance their own interests and put the entire constitutional experiment toward a more perfect union in jeopardy. And I just think that's where we are. I don't mean to sound hyperbolic, but this is not hypothetical. This is what they say they want to do. And at a certain point, you have to take people seriously. And so I think what Liz Cheney's done is remarkable. I wish more people would do it. And I think that not just history, but people of goodwill around the country should honor her for it and listen to her and vote for Representative Slotkin. And I say that, by the way, I'm not a Democrat. I voted for Republicans and Democrats. And, you know, I live in Tennessee. When I say I have conservative friends, that's redundant. You know, this is not a crazy partisan thing to say. It is, I think, a genuine stress test for citizenship for all of us.
John.